Have you seen any of Denzel Mims in the last couple of weeks?
I watched last week. I actually watched a lot of the game last week, and he looked good. To be honest with you, I think that's what everybody was expecting. Big grabs, big body. Definitely showed the speed, which we all know that he has. But it was good to see him back and healthy, and making big plays.
Yeah, that was a guy who I've spoke about it a lot since we've done the show on Mims, because you broke down that film with me again. People can always go back and watch that. But we both liked him like a lot. Like we were kind of bad. Like I felt bad for some guy. Like we did a couple shows in a row. Like we did Desir, then we did Davis, then we did another defensive back, and we were kind of like roasting him. And so Mims, like I felt bad, but then we got to Mims and we were like hyping him up. Like you were saying, like you feel like he could be a legit number one, like just based on his body, his yak ability, his ability to catch balls outside of his frame, the way he runs routes for being 6'2", 6'3", like. Even on this play, like there's certain routes that he's on the top right here. Like there's certain routes that he runs and he doesn't run it with the best technique. Like here, I think he's lunging a little bit too much into that stop step where he's a little bit overextended. You want to slam a little bit more down, but he does things like that, but he still can have his break like pretty damn quick for a guy who's 6'3". So if he improves that shit, like he could his frame and his ability to run routes, even with poor technique and whip out of those breaks, not a lot of dead time at the top of those breaks. I think he could be really good. Like I am really, really excited for him as a Jets fan.
Yeah, trajectory wise, I mean, even just off of last week and just how he looks, and I hope he does. Like he looks like he's going to be kind of on the Julio Jones kind of trajectory. Like he does. Like that's
God.
I'm being serious. He's a young Julio to me. Like he is.
So this is the quote that I always say from their show, and I don't know, it's not verbatim, but on that show specifically, we both said we feel that he could be a top 5 to 10 wide receiver, and I compared him to AJ Green, and you thought that was a relatively decent comparison, which I think Julio is even more of a monster, but AJ Green, but those long, lanky guys who are strong, who can get out of routes, who can extend, catch the ball outside the frame, like he. Man, like the Jets fans don't have a lot to be excited about, but like even little things, I don't know if I have this play, but there's little things that I'm starting to notice about his route running that was really exciting. Like, and it was something that I'm sure nobody talked about, minus on the show. And I'm, I guess to my horn, I don't mean to do that, but there's not a lot of people who talk about mesh concepts and things like that, and why it was important what he did. But like, there's a play, I'm not gonna be able to find it, but he did a really good job pushing the mesh concept and pushing his route vertical to let the natural rub kick in. And you could saw like it was like a what's the word? Like it was, he really thought about doing it. It wasn't I can't think of the word I'm trying to think of, but he said it really well. Like he's starting to learn the nuances of route running and how to get open within route concepts and things like that. That's really a positive. And we watched a lot of that film, like of him at Baylor. And like I said, for you to say Julio, like a potential Julio, like, goddamn.
No, that's really what I see him as. I really do see him right now. He looks like and even just kind of because watching the game last week and then watching the few clips that you just showed now. And I was even thinking while I was watching the game last week, I was like, dang, this dude look like Julio. I'm like, if he starts, because when Julio first came out, I mean, Julio was actually ahead of him because Julio was running hella great routes at Alabama, though. But
Bama versus Baylor,
Well, I mean, if Mims can learn how to, and this is the same thing that I teach to like taller DBs. If he learns how to, you get that extra D lift. Like if you watch Julio, if you watch him, his knees are a little bit. He runs a little higher than what you would think he probably should. But he's cutting down his steps in order to come out of his breaks. That's why he gets in and out of his breaks so fast.
Yeah.
He didn't even have to use his speed a lot anymore because like every break is like so precise. Jerry Rice was the same way. If you go watch Jerry looks like he's running with high knees all the time. But part of that process,
selling that 100 when you're running at 90.
Exactly. Yes. So, you have more control when your hips are aligned like that and you can put your feet down boom, boom, out of your breaks, boom, boom, out of your breaks. You can go either way. That's why Julio's so good. If Mims can learn how to do that, and he's got the frame to do it, I'm telling you.
Yeah, you're altering that gait. Yeah. So and there's people. Somebody said, and listen, again, for people who are not familiar with Marcus, he's brutally honest when we watch film. So there's DBs and receivers we watch. And he's like, nah, this ain't it. So for you to be like that high on Mims, which we both were, it's definitely exciting. Let's see. Somebody said, like Mims, would love Allen Robinson on the other side of it. You have Robinson, Mims, and Crowder next year for the new quarterback. Like, damn, that's, like I said, that's pretty good. Somebody said Gilmore would have shut him down. Let's not get carried away. Yes, Gilmore is the best cornerback in the NFL, and he's a rookie. So yes, that would happen. But that's not what we're saying. I'm not saying, he's Julio right now. He's going to toast Gilmore. We're talking about trajectory.
Yeah.
So I'm not getting carried away. But he's exciting.